people who are in nursing school that aren't able to make it? Okay, perfect. All right, so super, super excited, and we just have a couple questions to ask you. Actually, we have a lot of questions, but I'm going to condense them down because a lot of them are pretty similar. So we just want to start with just really quick, what's your story? Who are you? Tell us a little bit about you. I've already told them your whole life story that I know so far, but I'm sure there's a lot that I don't know. So just tell us all about who you are.
Okay, so I'm Sheyenne Knox. I'm 19 years old, and I am currently a college student at Tarleton State University. I'm majoring in nursing, so I have a lot on my plate right now. I started at semester of my senior year, so around Christmas time last year. So in 2 months, I'll be in this a year. I promoted to Diamond in about 5 months. And it's been crazy since then. It was a whirlwind. It kind of flies by really quickly, but I just wanted something that was going to be on my own schedule and go along with things that I needed to do. And I knew I was going to be in college, and I did not want to be that typical person that says, oh my gosh, I have $100,000 of debt. How do I pay it? I didn't want to be that person. And so I pushed really hard to get a ton of scholarships. And I knew that when I had it works, I was going to be able to work my business on my own time and go through college and not have to stress about it, because I knew I wanted to be a nurse, and I knew that that's a lot, and not being able to work at the same time and do all those things that I wanted to do. So I joined this, and I've been doing it full time ever since. And now I get to work it at school and not have to stress about going to get a job.
I love that. And a lot of people your age and our age, I mean, I'm only 23, so I'm not that much older than you, but people our age, don't care about that stuff. They're like, oh, I'm just a college student. They're whatever. But I have a lot of people on my team, who are college students, and they're so serious about this. And I'm that's so cool that this business allows us at 19 years old, at 23 years old, to be able to be you know what, I want to be debt free. I want to pay for college in cash. That's what I did. And I don't have any student loan debt because of that. But a lot of kids are I don't care, just weekends, woo, living off mom and dad, and that's fine. They just don't understand yet. But it's just so cool that this company has given us other options. So I love that. And I will go right into the questions because we've got a lot of them. So a ton of people ask, just all in different ways, what does your time management look like? How do you find time to work your business? Obviously, you've never been in this business while you were not in school, except for maybe in the summer a little bit. But just another girl said, I'm a pre-nursing student as well. What have you found to be the best way to balance everything and make sure that you have time for everything from school to your business? Because obviously you don't want to make one making school on the back burner or whatever. Mm-hmm. So just how do you manage your time?
You don't. No. You really it's different for everyone. When I got here, I had a mental breakdown, and I was freaking out, and I called Courtney, my upline, and I was just I'm not in control anymore. I felt everything had just come crashing down. I had no control over my team. I had no control over what I was doing, because I was so overwhelmed with not only transitioning into college, but leaving high school was busy and crazy and everything, but it was a set schedule every single day. And I knew exactly what I was doing and knew when I was going to do it. And then I got to college, all my classes were at different times. I had all this different stuff to do. I joined a sorority. I was I don't know what to do. I was I'm just going to get to Diamond, and this is going to be the end of it, and I'm not going to go anywhere else, because I just felt so stuck, I guess, because it was so different. But I quickly realized when I started going with it that it wasn't as hard as it seemed, because although my schedule was crazy and I had all this stuff to do, I had so much more time than I had in high school, as weird as that sounds. I had 2 classes for a few hours, and then everything else was free time, and you feel you have so much stuff to do, but you really don't. It's just kind of changing your mindset is where I started. Just okay, it's obviously going to be different than high school, so sit down, make a game plan about what's going to work best for you. And I think I focused so much on trying to create this perfect schedule that is what overwhelmed me. I just had to realize that this business is so just go with the flow, do it when you can, go around your schedule. And that's what Courtney told me. She was look, you joined this business to have something that's going to be your back to fall on, and that's going to always be there when you need it. And when I sat there and started thinking about that, and thinking about okay, this business really is just at the tip of my fingertips 24/7. I don't have to do it at 3 o'clock every day like I used to, and do these certain things every day. And my team was just going to have to realize that I was in college. And if I wanted to do a Zoom at 5:00 today and it's in 2 hours, like those who can get on can get on. Like, it's just, you can't sit there and stress yourself out so much about not being in control of everything and knowing you have an entire team to help you. It's not just you doing it. And whether you're a Ruby, you're executive, or you haven't promoted, you have a team, and one day you're going to. So you just kind of have to realize that it's not just you doing it, and you don't have to have a set schedule every day, and you just kind of wing it. That's what I do. Like, when I'm walking into class, I'm messaging. When my professor's being super boring and I don't want to pay attention, I'm messaging. When I'm sitting here in my room and I just really don't want to study, or I need a break from studying, I message. It's just wing it. That's what I say. You can't focus so much on stressing yourself out about creating a schedule, because you're not going to have one, because it's just going to be crazy all the time.
I love that. Like, because I think that a lot of people expected you to say, okay, from 2 to 3, you're going to do this. But, like, that's not realistic. So if you have those unrealistic expectations of yourself, you are always going to be, like, feel defeated. Like, oh, I can just never do this. Like, no, you can. Just whenever you can. You don't have to have, like, this. Because I remember whenever I went diamond, y'all, this is so funny. Okay, I'm going to tell this real quick. Whenever I went diamond, I was like, I quit all my jobs. Okay, I had 2 jobs at the time. I quit them all, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay at home. So I literally have it's called my diamond schedule. And it was like what I was going to do every single day that I was a diamond. Like, every single day, like, while I was at home, okay, from 8 to 9 every day, I'm going to wake up and have breakfast. And then from 9 to 10 every day, like, I'm going to message. And I was like, that is so ridiculous. Like, one day into that, I was like, heck no, like, this will never work. So it's the same thing. Like, whether you have a completely open schedule or not an open schedule, you have to be flexible, because stuff comes up, stuff happens. And if you are so like, okay, I have to do this, you're just going to always feel defeated. So I like that you said that. Okay. So maybe just write down like 6 different things, make your 6 list, things that you cannot go a day without doing, and do them whenever you can, like what she was saying. Okay, so a lot of people are asking in different ways, what keeps you motivated whenever you feel like you want to quit? Like, I know whenever you said, like, whenever you got to college, not that you wanted to quit, but that you were like, like, what the heck am I going to do? What kept you motivated? I'm going to see if there's like another like version of that. Yeah, like, how do you find and keep motivation during hard times or periods of your life? Things like that.
So I know that, like, a lot of people have thought about quitting, and a lot of people see things and they're just like, look, like, this isn't working for me. Like, I'm not getting the results that I want. Like, all these things that you can sit there and think negative things all the time about things that don't work. And that's the same way for life too. Like, all this stuff is happening and you're like, well, crap, I just give up. You can't. So there's so many things that go into this business that you can't control. You can't control if you're putting in the work, yeah, like, you're getting these customers, but sometimes you're not getting any. Like, you can't control every single thing in the business. So it's so easy to get that mindset in your head where you're just like, this is too hard. I'm not capable. I'm not cut out for something like this. And, like, you start thinking all these things against yourself. But really, when you change your mindset and you sit there and think, look, it takes people 40 to 50 years to make the amount of money that Ambassador Diamonds make in this business in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years even. When you think about the broad picture and you don't think about now, like, there have been so many times in my business, like the month after I went diamond, I've never hit such a low. It was June. I had just given my whole heart, soul, passion, life to a promotion and put everything I had into something. And I knew, like, I promoted and I was like, I have to do this all again. Like, are you kidding me? And I just got into such a funk. And I was so, like, stressed out, and I just had to sit there and tell myself, get over yourself. Like, get over it. Let it go. It's not the end of the world. Think about how much this business has done for you. And in the beginning, it was about me. I wanted money. I wanted to pay for college. I wanted this. I wanted that. I wanted the Louis Vuitton bag. I wanted Ambassador Diamond. I wanted all this stuff that I got to see. And then when I saw that it wasn't just about me anymore, and you have all these incredible people on your team, you have single moms that need this business more than, like, there are so many people on my team that need this business more than I do. Like, so many people. And so when you use that mindset and you have that ability to think, I have an entire team that wants this more than I do, that needs this more than I do, then you change your mindset and quickly you get out of those funks that you're in. You change that whole, I can't make this work. I can't make this happen too. I need to make this work, and I need to make this happen not only for myself, but for everybody else in my business that needs this more than me. And when you think about all the things you're going to do with it in your life, you know, nothing tough, nothing easy comes without a struggle. Nothing easy comes without having hard times. It's just like a relationship. When you're in a relationship, there's so many things that you have to compromise over. There's so many things you have to get over and fix and communicate. And there's going to be bumps in the road, but you just have to realize that the end result is so much greater than all of those problems that you go through. And going through those dry spells where you don't have customers, and those dry spells where you're not signing up people and your team's quitting and everything seems like it's falling out from below you, there's so much more at the end that is going to make it all worthwhile. So just changing your mindset and setting yourself into a positive direction, just knowing that, and knowing that it's going to get hard is a good thing to do. Knowing and expecting the bad times. So when they come, you're not just like, holy crap, what is this? I haven't signed a customer in a month. Like last month, I signed one customer. Like that was so hard on myself, but I realized that I was going to be okay and I was going to get through it. And having that mindset, I got through it, because signing on one customer, yeah, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm pretty sure her thing just failed and she got off. And I don't know what the question
I'm
was.
back.
She's back. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I have the worst internet ever here, and it froze 3 times already. So I just got on my hotspot, and then it kicked me off when I got on there. So,
but you're good.
Okay. So let's go to another question. They said, okay, here, let me see if there's like a good like order to do these in. Probably not. Okay, so a lot of people want to know just a couple of basics of like, when you follow someone new on Instagram, when is it okay to start talking to them about the business? Like, do you use Instagram? I think you use social media, right? Okay. So they were saying like, how do you decide who to follow? When you start following somebody, how do you start talking to them about the business? Kind of what do you say to sign up distributors? We've got a lot of new people on here who have signed recently who want to know, how do you sign up distributors? How did you get people whenever you first started, especially? Because now you have a story and you're like, oh, I earned a $5,000, what is it, 5,000 or 10,000 bonus. And you're like, okay, I did this. And so now it's a little bit easier and people are like, what is she doing? But at first, when you very first started, so how did you sign up distributors? How do you still sign up distributors? How do you work Instagram? Just basics. You don't have to go super into detail.
Okay. So I use Instagram more than I use Facebook, because Facebook is like, when you message somebody, they expect you to be like their best friend, and you're like, hold up. So Instagram is a lot less personal, I guess, and a lot less.
And it's so much faster.
Yes, and I'm just like, look, I'm not trying to be your best friend. Like, I'm trying to talk to you. Don't get so offended that I messaged you, you know? So I feel more comfortable, because I used to have like anxiety about messaging, but in Instagram, I don't care anymore. So when I go through, like today, I go to boutiques and I follow girls that I think are cute, that are young, that are good with social media, that are either moms, that are in college. Obviously, okay, first and foremost, discovering your target market is so, so important. If you're a mom, your target market is all moms. If you're in college, all of your target market is college students. If you're a traveler, your target market is travelers. You know what I'm saying? Like, find your target market, and then you're going to be able to add all those people. When you're going through your people to follow, you're going to find some people that you can relate to, that are going to be able to see your post and be like, oh, she's a mom too, and she's doing it. Or, oh, she's in college, she's doing it too. That's why my entire team is predominantly college people, because they're like, well, she does it, so I can too. And that's how you're really going to get that following and that audience that you really want. So when I'm going through Instagram, I go to my favorite boutique. I have like a select 5 or 10 that have a lot of followers that I go through. I'll go follow like people that are in college, that are young, cute. Their Instagram's visually appealing, because yeah, you can have anybody on your team, but you really just want people that you think are going to be good at social media, that are going to be able to have good posts, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can kind of visualize if you see somebody's Instagram that looks super horrible and they post really awful pictures, like, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of read into it. But, when it comes down to messaging those people, I don't message them right away, but I also don't spend like weeks and weeks building relationships with them, because Instagram is not like that as much as Facebook is. So all the people I followed today, My Instagram followers used to be in order by how I followed them, but they're not like that anymore. So what I do is I scroll through. I like every single picture on my Instagram. Like I just scroll through and I just like. So I try, because Instagram and Facebook, I'm pretty sure they do it by who that they think you'll want to see the most, and it's not chronological anymore. So I just go through and like a ton of pictures, and then after I know that I've seen them, sometimes I'll just go through when I'm interacting, go like a bunch of pictures. That way I know when I message them, I probably like their pictures. And so I'll just go through, message people. So say I come across some girl that's a mom, she's married, whatever, I'm going to probably message her about being a distributor. And the best thing is when you message somebody, you can kind of prejudge whether you think they're going to be a customer or they're going to be a distributor. But either way, you can always turn it around the other direction. So say I messaged Morgan on Instagram and I was like, hey, like, I think you'd be so great at this business. Would you be interested in hearing more information about it? And she's like, no, I'm not that interested. You turn around and be like, okay, well, I also have this incredible deal going on for product models if you wouldn't be interested in the business. Like, you flip it around. So really, it's a win-win situation. Either way, like, just because you message them about being a distributor doesn't mean it's the end of the world and you can't message them about being a customer. Like, just always switch it back around. But really, there's not really a super formulaic way. Like, you're not doing it wrong if you didn't do it the same way that I do it. It's just finding that process that works the best for you. Like, I just go through and follow every day, build my network. If the people aren't on private, I go like a bunch of their pictures. That way they follow me back. If they're on private and I see, like, I get the notification, like I just got one and it said, Brittany accepted your friend follow request, I go instantly while they just requested me back. I go instantly and go like a ton of their pictures. That way they're already on their phone. So they're going to be like, oh, this girl liked my pictures. Let's go look at her profile. And she'll see my It Works post. So it's all about like timing and the right situation. So just try to stay on top of little things like that. And it makes a big difference in your business.
I love that. I'm going to start doing that more often because I used to, like, I go in like these phases where I'm like
so on top of it.
Yeah. And now I'm like, me. And like today I did a power hour, and in that power hour, I spent 6 minutes just like liking and commenting on Facebook, and then that same thing on Instagram. And so, yeah, like I'm going to start making sure that I like every time that they like accept my request, I'm gonna like go back. Is yours private or public?
Private.
Okay. Mine is
too. And it's like, it also sucks is like, you know, like a lot of people don't like go through and creep on your stuff, but I don't really like it when a bunch of It Works distributors that are not on my team follow me, because it makes me nervous. Like, I hate like judging people and thinking they're going to steal my potentials, but I don't want to risk it. And I don't want anybody lurking on my page. So I keep it private just so I can go through things. And plus it's kind of creepy how many weird people do follow you. It makes you want to pay attention.
Yes. Yeah. I have mine on private for the exact same reasons. I don't like It Works people that aren't on my team following me. And I want to make sure that I'm able to monitor who is following me. And if they go to my profile, this is for newer people. I know a lot of y'all already know this, but if your profile is public on Instagram, they can just go to your page and see everything. There's no privacy. There's no secretive. There's no mystery to it at all. And so then they're like, oh, cool. Like, she's not weird. She can follow me, but I don't really need to follow her back. Like, I can see all of her stuff and I'm not really interested. Yeah. But if they have to request to follow you, if all they can see is your name and your bio, they're going to be like, who is this? You're going to get more friend requests that way. And a lot of people think it's
not going to take the time to unfollow you.
Right. And most people think it's the other way. They're like, oh, I'm not going to get as many followers if I'm private. I think you'll get more. You can try it with public versus private. Some people have it different. I think Courtney Boers is public, but for me,
she just has so many followers. Like,
yeah. And that's why I'm like, I don't know, because I've tried so many different ways, and every time I make it public, I immediately turn it back off and make it private because I just hate it. But yeah, so find what works for you, just like she said, and that may be different for everybody, but we personally like ours to be on private. Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you do a lot of self-development, or no, not really?
I've never done that, and I need to. I've been really hard on myself, like making myself want to do it, because a lot of girls on my team say that it's like changed their business.
Yeah, it's definitely changed mine. I was just going to ask you if there was like something that inspires you, like a book or a podcast, or is there like a leader that you love to follow?
Okay, speaking of, my boyfriend actually showed me this, and I was in the car and like he sent it to me and I was like, okay, this is amazing and this guy is crazy. So he has pretty like vulgar language, but he is amazing. Like he like inspired me to message the other day just because it fired me up so much. His Instagram is Gary VEE. Like, I see some people nodding. Like, he speaks so much truth. And, like, I have ADD so bad. I can't sit there and watch, like, a YouTube video of some guy, like, preaching to the choir in the front. I can't do that. That's why I don't do it. And I don't read. So I can't read books. So I would watch YouTube videos. But his are just, like, short, to-the-point videos that are seriously, yes, I'll type it. He cusses a lot. If that bothers you, then don't watch them. But it's so amazing. Like, the stuff he says, I'm just like, holy crap. You know what? You're right, mister. I'm going to message. So he just, like, it's not necessarily personal development. It's not, like, developing me any. It's just he fires me up to want to work more because he's such a driven person. But as far as other leaders, I love following you. Like, I love it. So I think you'll have an awesome leader. But I'm pretty sure you're on Sydney Stapleton's team, aren't you?
No, we're just best friends. Everybody thinks she's on my team or that I'm on her team. We're sidelines under a girl named Savannah.
Okay, yeah. So I follow her, and I love her posts too because she's got it together. Like, she's got it going. So I love her. And who else is it? Oh, Ashley Hughes and Alyssa Wilbur, I think.
Yeah, Alyssa Billy, yeah.
Yeah, that. Her freaking post, she inspires me to do better because I'm like, I need to look like that. So as far as, like, posting Alyssa, for sure. And then just, it's really important to go follow a ton of Ambassador Diamonds because they give you post ideas. They always, like, fire me up because they're ambassadors. And I'm like, that's going to be me one day. So it's just important to follow a bunch of leaders, like, so many. Just follow all of them.
Yeah, and just remember, too, like, if they can do it, you can do it. That was something that was, like, the biggest eye-opener for me once I started following those ambassadors was, and, like, whenever I would see them at events, like, so many of us are going to conference. By the way, like, 2 hours left to get your early bird ticket. Just throwing that out there. But if you are going to conference, going to One Team, One Missions, if you're going to boot camps and things like that, and you see corporate and you see all these ambassador diamonds and presidential diamonds standing up there on stage and you look at them and you really, really start paying attention to them, you're going to realize that you've got a lot in common with them. Like, you are just like them. We are all just like them. We're people. You know, we put our pants on the same way, one leg at a time. Like, they're not any crazier than we are. And they did this so we can too. And that was one of my biggest aha moments on the cruise to Mexico that kept me in this business. When I almost quit, 2 months later, I went from emerald to diamond in the same day. Well, ruby to emerald, emerald to diamond in the same day. And so you can do this business, and following ambassadors is really going to show you that. Just make sure that you don't compare, because that's something that I fell into after I started following them for a while, was that I started to compare myself to them instead of letting myself be inspired by them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alyssa, like, Alyssa was on welfare and a single mom. Jade worked at a salon and had zero money to her name. What is that? Jody, I think. She was a teen mom, a single mom at 16, and she's an ambassador diamond. They're, like, every single ambassador diamond, and what I was talking to Jade about the other day, every single ambassador diamond I've ever heard of had it so bad. And I think that it's the fire that they did not want that anymore, and they didn't want that for their kids. They didn't want that for the rest of their life, is how they're that way, how they got to that point. You have it better than that, and it's not so bad that you're not going to get there. But it's finding that fire that's going to get you there. Like, finding that why is, like, I never want to live like that in my life. Like, neither one of my parents went to college, and neither one of them have any family with any money, and, like, they've always had to work their butt off their entire life. And, like, I don't want that. I don't want to work every single day for the rest of my life and not have anything to show for it just because I'm working to get by. So that's just a fire enough to me to get through college, get my nursing degree. If I don't use my nursing degree, I don't use it because I want to be ambassador. I don't want to be a nurse for the rest of my life.
In our upline, Susan Wade, she's our ambassador, and she's a nurse, or she's like a registered nurse. She was that until she started in this business, and now she gets to stay at home with all 4 of her daughters. Like, It's just crazy, and her husband's stay at home. So I guess that's kind of like leading us into the next thing is, hang on. Let's see. We kind of already said that one. Hang on, let's see. Okay, what keeps you motivated and excited whenever you feel like you want to quit? Did I already ask you that?
Yes.
I feel like I asked you something like either like that or that exact question. Okay. Sorry, I'm like going all around because there's so many that are the same, so I'm not going in an order of what they asked.
Okay.
Okay, so social media. Couple of questions about that, besides what you've already answered. One, I'll just like group these together. What apps do you use? Oh, I'll just ask you this one first, I guess. What apps do you use for like editing? Do you use any apps for like time management? Do you use any apps for like posting, like layering pictures, using words? Do you use any for like setting up posts so that they post for you, or what do you use?
Okay, Pick Tap Go, holy grail. Cannot live without it. My Facebook game went up so much when I used that because I didn't edit pictures, and sometimes like it's too much, but it has changed my business. Like when you take time into editing your pictures and taking pictures of your life every day and editing them to where they look different and they're like eye-catching, I don't know. Game changer. Pick Tap Go. Pay for it. Who cares?
It's like actually weird too because I've had 2 girls today come to me and say, what kind of camera do you use?
Interaction too.
It's such a good conversation starter, even if they're not like, hey, I just saw your post about, like, it was a post about hair, skin, and nails, and the girl never said anything about hair, skin, and nails, but I know she saw my post because it was right after I posted it. She said, what camera do you use? And I was like, oh, it's just my iPhone.
Go, girl.
Yeah. And I was like, it's my iPhone 7. Like, I just use Pick Tap Go, and like now I know she saw my hair, skin, and nails post. Like,
exactly. And now you've talked to her, so if you were to message her, it's not weird. Yeah. So Pick Tap Go. Pay for it. It's $2.99. We're going to probably give you money if you don't want to pay for it because it's so good. And then I use PicsArt, Pics art, one word. That's how I get my pictures with the loyal customer notification on it, my emails, my payments, my paychecks, my weekly bonuses, blah, blah, blah. You click the add button. It adds your picture. And then on the bottom it says add photo. Crop out the picture that you want. So like if you screenshot an email, crop out what you want to be on there and just go select it. And then you can change the opacity, something, like how opaque it is. That's a hard word. And it like changes it to where you can kind of see through it. So it's not
like
so
fuzzy or
like
see through. Yeah.
I'm going to say that instead of that stupid word. It's too hard. And then I don't schedule my post because a lot of girls on our team are like really big with algorithms and literally like go into studying it. Like I don't know if you Allie Frazier, but she's like should get a degree in that. But she's like really big on algorithms and like SendShare and all those apps where you like put like it schedules your post for you. Facebook catches that. And they know that you're not posting, and they know you're doing it for. Facebook are like little Nazis when it comes to you running your business through their social media because they're not making any money off of you. So anything that we are able to use that helps us, we get screwed because we can't use it. It's kind of like putting our link anywhere or like having group pages where nothing is in order and everything's a disaster and all that stuff. So I think that you can take 30 seconds out of your day and like the extra time to like schedule or make drafts of your posts, because you can make drafts on Facebook and on Instagram, and you have this nifty thing called notes where you can copy and paste your post. So you don't need apps that are going to schedule your post for you because that's your job. Like that's your job is to post and to message and to follow and interact. And if you can't do those 4 things, then reevaluate your situation, girlfriend. But that's really all. It's just like photo editing apps are super important and social media apps.
Yeah, and I will show y'all really quick because we do have like literally like they just signed up 2 days ago people on here. So I'm going to show you how to set up a post really quick on Instagram like for a draft. If you look on mine, I actually have a ton of drafts right here.
Yep.
Already set up and saved. So let's say that I'm going to set up this post of this. Okay, so I'm going to go and click next. And then I'm going to click next so where I can write a caption. I'm going to write a caption, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I'm going to click OK.
You didn't click it.
Okay, I can't do this upside down. Okay, now where it says share, you have to click the back arrow twice. And then at the bottom, it'll say save draft or discard, and you click save draft. And then it's going to save it right here where your drafts are. So now if I go right here, and act like I'm going to go post a picture, then it's on my drafts.
Eventually when your Wi-Fi decides to work.
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then I can go and select that picture, and then I can click share. So that's how you do it. It's super, super simple. Facebook does the same thing. If you go out of your, like if you're writing something down and then you leave that page, it'll say, wait, do you want to discard or do you want to save the post as a draft? And you can just click save as draft. And then it'll save the picture and everything there for you. So I love doing that because just like she said, the algorithm catches, like there's like something called like Hootie or something like that, or there's so many different apps that you can get to post your stuff for you, but you don't ever want to use those just because, like she said, it doesn't help your algorithm. And another thing that I found out recently, and I had speculations about this because I was like, I feel like this is a thing. And somebody that's really good with algorithms was like, hey, did you know this? And I was like, I knew it. If you write the word "it works" in your pictures, they will not be shown as much.
No.
So if you can be more secretive and say things like, I love that this business has helped me so much. Now I can work from my phone and make extra money, text opportunity to blah, blah. For more information, I'd love to tell you so that you don't have to struggle anymore. That is going to get more views than something like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for it works.
Or you can space it out and do it and works.
Yeah. So you just have to be careful about like the wording on it. So either space it out, or you could do both, space it out and then be like secretive about it sometimes. But I have a problem with that. Like, I don't want to always be like secretive about it, because I know some people are like, I don't want them to know what I do. And I'm like, I do, because I'm with the best company in the world. I want them to know that I'm with It Works and no one else. Like, I'm not prideful with that. Like,
if you post before and after pictures in the post, it doesn't get seen as much. So that's why people post them in the comments, because you have to go look at the comments also and like interact with the post, but it also blocks a lot of posts and it doesn't let you see them because they know, like, It Works is huge. So they know our secret.
And, yes. And every time somebody like Hootsuite, that's what it was. I was like, it's Hootie something, Hoot something. But yeah, Hootsuite. Yeah. Don't use that. But anyways, yeah, like whenever you see a picture, like if I ever like am scrolling through Facebook, like interacting with people, and I'm scrolling through and I see somebody say like, oh yeah, comment below, or like, what's your favorite recipes, comment. And I go and you want to look at the comments, you're like, what did they say? Like, I want to see what people said. So if you say, oh my gosh, these results are amazing, they're going to want to go look at the comments, because it's like, comment below if you want more information. They're going to comment and they're going to see before and afters, just because they're curious to see, oh, I wonder who commented and said they were interested. Does that make sense? So anyways, I
have a super quick question about that.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you do that on Instagram, then like, will they block it if you put the before and afters on your Instagram post too?
Just Facebook.
Just Facebook? Okay.
Okay, so let's see. This is a good one. What is the number one thing that you wish that you knew as a brand new distributor? That you know now that you wish you would have known when you joined? I like that question.
That is a good one. There's so many things. Oh my goodness. Other than like the little nitpicky things, I think it's crap. Whoever asked this question,
sorry, that's like putting you on the spot. That was like a really deep question. I should have like sent you these beforehand.
I think it would be that the expectations you have for yourself now and the things that you think you're capable of so much more. When I started this business, I thought that it would take me years to get to Ruby. And I was like, you know what, like $500 a month, every single month, eventually, that's amazing. And then I started putting my heart into this business and seeing the people that were in it and seeing the possibilities, and knowing now that I'm diamond and I'm going to go double diamond, I'm capable of so much more than I thought that I was. And I think when you start, you're so hard on yourself and you're starting something new and you're scared and you're so vulnerable because people are judging you, you think, and you're sitting here and you're caring so much about everyone else around you because you are vulnerable, because people are saying all this stuff about you and about this business, you know, like y'all see it. And that's what I was so scared about when I started. I was like, all these people are judging me, and all these people are, and you're vulnerable because you haven't done anything with the business yet. So you can't necessarily stand up for yourself and be like, oh my gosh, well, I promoted to this, you know? So knowing now that you prove all those people wrong because you didn't know that you were capable of what you will get to eventually. And I mean, there's so many other things, but that's just, it's so important to me because I never thought that I would be where I am.
I think that everyone who is diamond and above would say that. I don't think anyone, I mean, a couple of people join this business with really high expectations. For the most part, though, we join for $500 or less, right? And then you get to the rank of Ruby and you start making that. You get to Emerald, you get to Diamond, double Diamond, triple Diamond, and you're like, I never thought I'd be here, but like, this is what happens when you just complete the steps to success. It's not hard. It's simple. You can't quit. It's not super easy. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to join and it's going to happen overnight, but it's not hard. Like, it's simple what you have to do to get here. And I already know that I joined for $100 a month. And I, not joking you, I told Savannah, my enroller, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that though. And she's an Emerald, so she was probably just laughing like, this girl has no idea how simple it is to make $100 with this business. Like, I just had the wrong mindset. And I think a lot of us are just think that it's going to be so much harder than it is or something. I don't know, but it like makes me emotional. Like, it's crazy how much further you can go than you ever thought that you could. And it's because we have such an amazing company. I don't know any other company that would give me $127,000 in bonuses in less than 3 years. No other company.
That's what you have to realize also is you have to have faith in the business. Not only faith in yourself, not only faith in your ability of your team, faith in the company. Like, I had every odd against me when I started. I was in high school. No one took me seriously. I was 18 years old, no sales experience, hardly even had a job except at a resort, like being a hostess. Like, I literally, it was the worst thing ever, but I literally had no experience in anything. And being in high school, people are hateful. People are so rude about everything. The guys like interrogated me every day. And that fired me up so much to do so much better and to do so many things with this business. And that's honestly why I'm probably here. It's all those hard things that I had to go through to get here, because literally everyone was like, you're going to fail. Like, this is a pyramid scheme. This is a joke. And now those people are on my team.
Yes. And that's actually something that I was going to ask you. Hang on. I got to find where I wrote it. I wrote this question down. Okay, so this is my question that I said, what would you say to someone who feels like they're annoying people whenever they post, or that they're annoying people about working this business, or / have somebody who's like saying, you know, this is stupid. Why are you even doing this business? Like, putting them down for joining this business. And I can tell my story a little bit after you finish, but just what would you say to somebody who feels like, oh my gosh, none of my friends like me anymore. People think I'm annoying.
Sucks. Literally, like, I am a softie, but when it comes to things like that, those people are not paying my bills. Half those people that talk crap about you would love to do something like this, but it's because they're scared of what people are going to say. So they're going to tell you that because they want to watch you fail. And those people that talk about stuff like that literally don't have a clue what success is, and they are never going to find it having the mentality that they do. So I have people that join my team that are like, or that won't join my team because they care so much about what people are going to think of them. And I just always tell them, those people do not pay your bills, and they never will. And they're not going to be there when you're walking across the stage on joining the Millionaires Club. And they're not going to be there when you're paying off your $100,000 in debt. They're not going to be there when you're paying your kids' college tuition in full. They're not going to be there when you're driving around in your Mercedes Benz while they're behind you in their crappy 1984 Malibu. Like, they're not.
But you know where they will be? In the exact same place they're in right now, because they judged you for what you were doing to try to better your life. And I'm not saying that everybody, and I know you're not saying this either, like, this is not for everybody. And we're not saying that it is for everybody. We're not saying that, you know, you have to join this business or there's something wrong with you, or you won't be successful if you don't do it works. We're just saying, if people are going to be ugly to you, it's because there's something in their life that's making them act that way towards you, and it's not even you. Maybe they're just insecure because they know that they're supposed to be doing something greater than whatever they're doing, and they want to be doing something like this, but they're scared of what other people think, so they just want to put you down to build themselves back up. And that's not going to get them very far in life. That's all I'm saying. And
it's especially funny to me when it's like the people that have been in network marketing or been in it works and they're like, that business is a scam. I'm like, how many times did you post today? How many times did you message? Did you ever sign anybody up? Did you ever talk about the business or do anything? No, you didn't.
Like, this business works for you if you work for it. So if you're saying that this business doesn't work, I know right off the bat that you did not try hard enough.
No.
And you just quit too soon because you quit at all. Like, if you quit at all, you quit way too soon, because why not just let the time pass? Like, why? For those of you who are not paying attention to the chat right now, she said, mic drop, mic throw. Mic absolutely destroyed. The mic has been so far thrown it no longer exists. That's Chloe. If you even needed to know, you probably just knew from me reading that.
But do not waste your time on people like that, because those are going to be the people that join your team. The person that contradicted me, grabbed at me, like was so hateful and annoying to me about this business, joined my team October 7th. So,
wow.
You know.
And you've been in this business less than a year, so it didn't even take them that long.
And, like, to me, when people quit, this is one thing. Like, if you've ever thought about quitting, if you're on here or you just joined and you think one day you may quit, I don't know, you're proving those people right. And that's the only thing you're doing. You're giving up on yourself, but you're proving them right that you weren't going to be successful from day one. And that's what kept me going, because I did not want people – because not only when you quit or, like, don't post and stop posting out of nowhere and, like, let your team down, you're letting everybody down in it works. Because then they think, like, this business doesn't work and this business doesn't work. It was you that didn't work, you know?
Yeah.
I've never understood that either. I'm just like, work your business, y'all.
And, you know, whenever I joined, and I don't know how many of y'all know this, but my friends were so ugly to me whenever I first started. And I never let it faze me. You know, I joined in the middle of October 3 years ago, and I went down to Mississippi to visit my family for Christmas, and I got to go to my high school friend's Christmas party just because it works paid for my plane ticket. Otherwise, I would have never seen my family for Christmas. And I walked in the door at my friend's house in high school, and like from high school, and the first thing that they said to me, this dude, he was, and I've known him since I was like a kid. Like, we like grew up together. He said, if you're going to talk about those stupid rap things, you can just leave. The first thing that he said to me, and I was like, wow, okay, well, I actually wasn't going to talk about that, but now I really want to. So thanks so much. Good to see you too. I haven't seen you in 6 months. So, like, it really, really hurt my feelings, but did I let that stop me? Like, no, I left there and I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about them raps. Oh, I'm going to talk about them raps. Like, I was like, I'm going to make this work, because I'm going to show him that this is something more than what he thinks it is. It's not a joke. This is not something that I'm going to do for 5 minutes and quit, because a lot of times that's what people do. So that's what they just assume you're going to do. They assume you're going to quit when you start. Like, they already are writing you off saying, like, oh, that's cute. Little Morgan started her own business and she'll be done.
You would never say any of that to your face, because you could literally buy him. Like, no.
What?
That person that said a lot of stuff to you, like, they would never say that anymore.
No, and a lot of them, that's what I was going to say, was it ended on a good note. A lot of them have come back to me now and literally apologized to me. And that just goes to show you how ugly they were, that they felt the need to sit me down and take me to dinner and apologize for the things that they had said. That's how ugly that they were. But now they've apologized, and, like, our friendships are better. Now one of those people who made fun of me lives in Thailand, and this business is funding for her to live over there as a missionary. So this business is helping her, and she was making fun of it 3 years ago. You know, but now we're friends, and she's like, I still don't get it, but that's okay. Like, I am supporting you because that's what you love to do. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Exactly. We support each other. This is what real friends do. And so they'll either come around or they really weren't your friends to begin with. Friends support each other if they're, as long as they're doing something that's not going to be harmful, and it works is not harmful. So anyways, okay. Last question, unless we can fit like more in here, but I think we've more that
we have more that are on the chat too that we can answer.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you saw that, because I sure didn't. I'll look at those in a second too. So one person, I really like this question too. She said, how do you follow up with someone who says that they're going to order, but then they never do? So they're telling you that they're super serious about ordering, that they want to, but then they just never message you back, or they just don't end up actually ordering.
You cut out like halfway through.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I said, what do you say to someone who like says that they're gonna order, but then they don't ever order? Like they either like leave you on read or like just stop replying to you, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna order. Like you even send them the website and the steps to order, and then they don't ever reply.
100 times.
You just keep following up with them. What do you say whenever you follow up?
My roommate just come home and her boyfriend came and dropped her off roses. She's
Oh.
so sweet. I know. I was trying to like talk two things. I know. It was so sweet.
Aww.
It was so cute.
That's so precious.
So anyways, I check back with them every single Friday. And if they say like, because I had a girl today, like I walked her through the entire thing. She's like, okay, like I'm at the end, and never replied. So like I always tell people I have 2 spots so that if it ever comes down to the point where they don't follow, or they don't like continue through everything, or they fall through, I now say, hey girl, I just had a spot fill up. I have 1 spot left. Do you want it? Because if you tell them you have 1 spot and then you text them again, and you're like, hey, I still have that spot open. They're like, okay, it's going to stay open. So if you do like I have 2 spots and you text them right before and you're like, hey, 1 spot now, sign up or don't.
Yeah, so you just keep following up with them over and over again and say, hey, are you going to order?
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Basically. I just say like, hey girl, like I just wanted to check back and see if you were still interested. I always put the ball in their playing court because they were interested. So if you say like, hey girl, are you still interested? I know that you were super excited about it. I have a spot open. Do you want it? Super simple.
Perfect.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. What do you do whenever you sign up a new team member? What is like some things that you do? And then we'll get to some of the ones in the chat really quick. But what are just like bullet points? What do you do with a brand new distributor?
So I made a video a long time ago. I just made a Zoom, and it explains eSuite. It explains getting your first 4 customers and how to get them, just the very basic things. Getting 4 customers is what I talk about the most because especially with the $100 shopping spree and stuff, I explain how to get to 4 customers. I explain what eSuite is. I explain how to sign up a customer, and messages. I send them like templates of messages and things to say, and then make sure that they know they have to send me screenshots of replies because you need to learn how to do that. So I keep it very, very simple because it is easy to get overwhelmed in this business. Hold on, someone's talking. 2 seconds.
So just a side note while she's doing that, whenever she was saying that she like gets her new distributors to send her screenshots of
We're about to lose her.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Send screenshots. That's where you were.
That's so weird. I'm on my like phone too. Okay. Yeah, so I always have them send me screenshots of people's replies to them because I know that I can sign customers. I know that I can seal the deal. And if you've signed up a distributor, you know how to sign up a customer. So you just have that sense of urgency and you just write those replies to them and you say, hey, I want you to send this message to 10 people. And whenever they respond back to you, I want you to screenshot me their response. And then I'll tell you word for word what to send back. And you copy and paste my responses. Feel free to save these responses in your notes if you want to, but that's going to make you more confident. In 1, you're going to be able to sign customers really, really quick because I know how to do it. 2, you learn how to reply to people's messages so that you don't word vomit all over them like I did whenever I first started. So now I know it takes time to do that. So now I'm going to show you right now, very first day that you sign up, second day that you sign up, this is how you reply. It took me a year and a half probably to figure out how to do this. So now I'm going to teach you the very first day that you start so that you can get to where I am faster. Yes. So that's what I make sure that I do for them. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
No, that's what I do. And I just make sure that they know that because when I went back and looked at my messages from when I first started, I went and unsended as many as I could off of Instagram because I was like, oh no, Sheyenne, what is that? I would never join in a million years if I read that message. So it is so, so important to text your upline, text Morgan and be like, yo, what do I say to this? Because you don't want to say the wrong things, even though I firmly believe you cannot say the wrong things to the right person.
Yes, so true. So true. Okay, thank you. And okay, so somebody said, what's the best way to rebuild yourself after most of your team quits?
So, that's my double chart right now. I basically built myself to double with the $10 promotion, and we all know how that goes. So really, I think the best thing is to, number one, handle the situation face on and just know that it's okay. Like, you don't want those people on your team anyways if they quit, because you don't want them to build them to, like, diamond or something and they're not appreciated enough and just leave you, you know, or, like, double diamond. That would suck because that totally happens. So you just want to find people that have the same vision that you do and just work your business. Keep going. And I actually – we have a diamond Zoom going on right now, and that was one of my questions was, when you're rebuilding, and you may be able to answer this for me, like, when you're rebuilding something, do you, like, stack distributors, or do you place on top lines to, like, completely just get rid of them? Because I guess you would stack if they had volume or place on their top line. But when you're rebuilding somebody for a promotion, I think it's just important to just realize that it's okay, and you just have to take it day by day and just do it. But I'm not sure, like, what the best way is to go about, like, stacking or.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my team's never really fallen apart. I've never ever had to rebuild anybody. So
nifty.
Just kidding, because it happens to everybody. So first of all, recognize that it's normal and that everyone has had distributors quit, has had to rebuild. It happens. So first of all, just know that you're not alone. You're not the first person.
What kind of magician are you?
It was funny because you're probably the only one who thought I was serious. My whole team was like, oh, girl. Like, they know that my team has not always been super stable. And, like, I mean, even now, like, my team's, like, awesome now, and I have amazing leaders, but it's not always been that way. And even now they've seen people, like, leave and quit, and that's fine. But, yeah, so, I mean, whenever I was a Ruby, I sat at Ruby for a year because I was building to try to go diamond. And gosh, it was just rebuilding after rebuilding after rebuilding, and I didn't know how to chart. I didn't know where to put people, and I was putting people in the wrong places. And technically, I mean, if I had to go back and do it all over again, I probably would have gone diamond a lot faster, but I learned a lot along the way. And I just was one of those people that, like, didn't ever ask for help. I was like, oh, I'll figure this out. Like, it never dawned on me, hey, I should probably go contact my enroller and ask her where I should put these people. But no, and then she was like texting me one day. She was like, can I see your chart? And I would show her, and she was like, oh, no, what are you doing? I was like, oh, is it wrong? Like, stupid. Anyways, okay, so I was about to go diamond in January of 2016. I was about to go diamond, and which is an emerald and a ruby, and my ruby quit, literally canceled her account, basically did not renew her account. I offered to pay to renew her account because I had gotten her to ruby myself, all the volume, all the distributors, and she quit. She did not message me back and blocked my number. So I had to rebuild a ruby. So whenever y'all come to me and you're like, oh my gosh, I had a distributor quit, I'm like, doesn't even matter. And I can honestly say does not even matter, because the very next month I went emerald and diamond with a brand new ruby that I built all 5 distributors from scratch, all to 400 organically by myself. None of them worked. None of them did anything. I got myself to diamond. And so first of all, you can get yourself to diamond if you work really hard. 2, if you get yourself to diamond, like, did you just say that you got yourself to diamond?
Kind of. There was like 2 people on my team that were working.
Same. Okay, and one of them is now a diamond too because she didn't quit, but the rest of them did. So I got myself to diamond basically, and excuse me, and yeah, I had 2 people on my team that were working, and they just kept working and I kept working, but no one else on my team was. So I sat at diamond for a year, and that whole year was me rebuilding people. Okay. So whenever you're rebuilding people, it does not matter how far down on your chart that they are. If they are working, pull them up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how far down, if they're on your 13th level and they're the only one that's working on your team, make them the emerald for your diamond.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you enrolled them or not. If they're the ones that are working the hardest, you pull them up and you make them that leader. So Sheyenne, with your chart, I don't know what it looks like, but if you have a double chart, and is it puke? Yeah, okay, same with my presidential, it's fine. All right, so if you have a double chart, is it full? Like you're blocked in, but not everybody's working?
No.
Okay, are your leaders working? And by leaders, I mean people in like promotion spots. Is everyone in a promotion spot working?
Pretty much.
So by pretty much, do you mean like diamond yes, emerald yes, rubies yes, and
the
some
side yes, the diamond side no.
Is the diamond working?
Yes.
Is the emerald working under that diamond?
Yes.
Is the ruby under that diamond working?
No.
Okay, so is anyone in that ruby leg working?
Yes.
That's the ruby. So take everyone else off that ruby chart. I don't care what volume you have. Take everyone else off, because if you don't have a leader on that side, that diamond won't maintain, because they're going to be heavy on the emerald side and the volume's not going to stay. It doesn't matter how many people that you stack under them. Then you're going to kick yourself, I promise, for stacking 8 good people all in the same leg, and you can only use one of them to be a diamond for your triple.
Yeah.
Use that ruby and you make that like your next rock star, her executive, and you build that whole leg brand new. And this is what's going to happen when you do that, because that's what I had to do finally for my double chart. And this started happening as we went into conference. So keep in mind that this is a time of the year that everything changes. Yeah. Ready? Like you're getting into the time where everything's going to be so different. Yeah. So every people are going to start like, oh crap, I need money for Christmas. You know, I signed 2 distributors today. People realize, oh crap, I'm broke. Like it's the end of summer. It's not fun anymore. I'm broke. Like I need money for Christmas. School's starting. Reality setting in. I don't have any money. I'm in debt. Like, so people are going to start joining your team. And you're gonna set yourself up with leaders who want this really, really bad. And if they aren't leading, if they're in a ruby position, an executive position even, and they don't want this, you don't build someone who doesn't want this. And that's where I went wrong with diamond and trying to go double for a whole year, was me trying to build people who didn't care. That's why it kept falling apart. And then finally, whenever I went double, every single leader on my chart was working. Now, that doesn't mean that all 400 boxes were working, and there is whenever I would go stack if I had extra people. I was still signing distributors, my team still was, and we needed volume. I would go stack under 400 boxes, but I would never stack under someone that's not working. If that ruby is not working, don't stack.
Okay.
So what happened then was I took my double chart, and someone that was like an emerald on my double chart wasn't working, but those 2 rubies were. So I filled the top boxes, and the 2 rubies got themselves to ruby, and I took one of the rubies and I said, well, you're going diamond. And in 2 months, I built 3 rubies. Well, I didn't do it. Like, that was how my chart changed. Mm-hmm. But like 3 of those rubies on my double chart were all working, and they all went diamond. And so in 2 months, 3 rubies went from ruby to diamond. Yeah. And so that's what happens when you quit building people who aren't working. It's crazy. So now I've learned my lesson the hard way after sitting at ruby for a year and then diamond for a year. I'm like, heck, if I don't know anything else in this world, I know how to chart. I know how not to chart, because if I know how, what?
June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, I've sat at diamond for 5 months.
Yeah, we promoted at the same time. Did you say that you promoted to diamond in May?
Mm-hmm.
I promoted to triple in May. So
I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of money.
And it was crazy because I never promoted twice in 1 year ever in my life. Like I've been sitting at ranks, right? Well, except for like ruby to emerald, emerald to diamond, but that was like all in the same day. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even looking at my emerald chart. I probably could have gone emerald at some point, but I was just like diamond, diamond, diamond. So I ended up going there, whatever. But then I was like, double. And then I like went to conference and I was like, oh my gosh, I could actually do this. Like I can go double. And so I did. And I was like, I could actually go triple. And like, then whenever I went triple, I was like, I'm going to be an ambassador. And so like, I finally started to believe it. And I'm not kidding you. When I went into conference, I was like, I'm going to be one of those people who's a diamond for forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I literally will sit at diamond for forever. I don't think I could ever go double. And now I'm a triple. Literally 4 months after conference, I was a triple. Anyways, so that was really off topic, but that's how you rebuild your team whenever most of your team quits. Okay, so let's see. I don't know where any of the other questions are.
Someone said, Sheyenne, what would you say to someone who was on your team and texted you and said, oh, I don't want to do this anymore because I haven't made any money?
I never know how to respond without sounding like I have a minor attitude.
I have a major attitude to people like that, actually. Probably half my team. I probably heard that from half of my team. And I actually did a live about it in my Facebook team page today, and I can send it to Morgan. Literally, guys, like, text them. If this is, are all of these people on here new, or are these just your whole team?
No, this is just like, yeah, just my whole team.
Get over yourself. I say that all the time. Like, I have to tell myself that all the time. Like, if I'm like, I don't want to message today, I don't feel like it, get over yourself. I say that all the time. So if people say they're not making any money, when you sit there, even if you tell yourself that, and you're like, I'm not making enough money, sit there and ask yourself, why? Why are you not making enough money? And if you sit there and all of your answers are, my team, nobody wants the products, this business doesn't work, the products suck, the products are too expensive. If you start thinking all of this stuff, but you can't look at yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're not messaging, you're not posting, you're not putting your heart into your messages, you're not doing this. Like, you have to be able to point yourself out. So if you're somebody on your team says, I'm not making any money, you need to say, ask yourself why. And if they can tell themselves why, and they say, well, I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then, I mean, nobody's going to say that, because they're going to say, like, my team's not working and I'm not getting the results that I want. You just have to be able to tell them straight up. Like, I mean, you don't want people, sometimes you just have to be real with people. You really do. And just come to the facts of just, you want this for them. Like, as a leader, I want all of my team to be diamond. I want every single person on my team to be diamond, because I want them to experience just everything that comes along with it, like being a leader and being in that position and making that kind of income from your phone and getting to see that side of things. And if you can sit there and be real with your team and tell them, like, look, you have to point yourself out and you have to hold yourself accountable. Like, guys, you have to have some serious self-discipline in this business. There is no one sitting there telling you, like, your leader can tell you as many times a day to message. Your leader can sit there and say, you need to post, you need to do this, but you're not going to do it until you want to do it. And until you feel that fire in yourself and you feel that your why is important enough. So when your team comes to you and they're like, I'm not making any money, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're leading them the way they're supposed to be led and you're giving them the tools they need to be successful, they need to hold themselves accountable. And you can't do that for them. You can't be some person. I mean, you can be their accountability partner, but no one's going to do anything unless they want to. So you just have to give them the tools that they need to be successful and just tell them that sometimes you just have to be real with them and just be like, look at yourself in the mirror. And you need to get your goals straight. You need to get your priorities straight. You need to do what you're supposed to be doing. And normally I just ask them simple questions like, are you posting? Send me a screenshot of your messages. When's the last time you messaged? And it gets real quick. And they realize that this business is not just going to be handed to you on a silver platter.
And sometimes, okay, I couldn't remember if I muted myself. And sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is to give them that tough love. And I know sometimes I got to rein it in a little bit because I can be a little too much tough love. But, like, I mean, sometimes that's what they need. They don't need you to be, like, babying them because you don't get any better by being babied. Like, if we constantly were bottle fed and we never got to eat table food and, like, our parents were constantly babying us and keeping us so sheltered, like, we would never get anywhere in life. It's by them saying, you know what, you're on your own. Go make mistakes, go fail, go get hurt a little bit. Then you're going to learn from that. You're going to learn from your mistakes, but you have to go out there and do it. You've got to give them that tough love sometimes. They can't be bottle fed every single day. And, like, at first, you know, whenever they first start this business, obviously we're teaching them everything they need to know. But then sometimes you're just going to go and tell them, you know what, you're not working your business. That's why you're not making any money. And you have to remember that there's going to be people who join this business who are in for 2 hours and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not a millionaire yet, so I'm just going to quit. And then you're going to have people like Sheyenne who joined this business and they're like, you know what, I'm going to work really, really hard and I'm going to go diamond in 5 months. And you have people like Dakota who promote, and Anna, and everyone on this team who works so hard. All of y'all on this Zoom, you're on this Zoom right now. So obviously you are working hard and you want this business. And there are going to be people who don't. So you just have to remember that there are both people who do and people who don't. And that doesn't depend on you as a leader, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But something that I shared at a boot camp last Sunday was, you know, if you're going to take responsibility for the times that are good, if you're going to take responsibility like, oh, I promoted, look what I just did. Like, we did this team, like, yeah. Or I just signed this customer, look what I just did, you know, or my team's awesome right now. Like, we're all excited. Look what I just did. And you're going to take responsibility for that. You better sure as heck take responsibility for when it's not going that way, because that is on you too. If you're going to take responsibility in the good times, you better be ready to take responsibility whenever things are hard. So, okay, let's see.
That's one thing I was going to say also is one of my favorite posts that Jade ever shared with us was in the Ambassador Diamond page. She asked them to share what their first paycheck was. Mm-hmm. And every single one of them, $17, $25, $0, $2, 50 cents. And now they make
billions a month.
Billions. And it's just like, guys, like, look at that in perspective. Like, do you not think they go through the same struggles that we do? Do you not think that they've had their complete charts just fall flat on their face, where they've lost their triple diamond leader, or people just lose their fire and quit working? Like, every single distributor, whether they are distributor or ambassador, go through the exact same things from day one. They go through the same thing of getting told no, through the same thing of getting left on red, getting made fun of, getting told they're annoying, being yelled at on social media for being a part of It Works. Everybody goes through the same thing. So when you're throwing yourself a little pity party and you're feeling discouraged and you're upset that you're not signing on customers and that you signed one customer last month, so did Jade Hooper and Courtney Bohr and everybody else that are where they are. Like, they didn't get that way and get that high super easy. They all went through the same things that you're going through too. And that's really important to remember.
And here's the thing too, is like, you know, the time's going to pass anyways. What is quitting going to accomplish? Okay. Like, you're in this business, right? Right now you're in this business, or you wouldn't be on this Zoom, and you're in this business and you're like, oh, it's getting a little hard. I think I'm just going to quit. Well, 10 years from now, you're still going to be in the same situation. And what will you have accomplished by joining this business for 2 months and then quitting versus sticking it out for 10 years? Maybe you end up being a diamond in the next 10 years. Maybe you don't promote to any other rank but diamond in 10 years, and in 10 years you're going to be making $2,000 a month at this company. How much would you be making in 10 years? How much monthly income would you be making in 10 years of this business if you had quit today?
Nothing.
Zero. So $2,000 a month in 10 years versus $0 a month in 10 years. The time is going to pass anyways. So you're going to be somewhere. Why not at least be making $500 to $2,000 a month in 10 years from now? Okay. And you say like, oh, well, it's just not happening fast enough. Well, what's fast? That's relative. I'm 23 years old and making more than some people do in their 40s. And I'm not saying that to brag.
Your whole life.
And I'm not saying that to brag at all. And there's plenty of people who make more money than me, and it's not about the money, but just to put it into perspective for you. And I never thought about this until someone told me the other day, it was one of my friends, and she said, you know, she told me this. She said, my dad makes $8,000 a month and he makes a 6-figure income. Well, me and this friend were talking about our paychecks, and they were both above that. And we were like, that's crazy that we at 23 years old are making more than our dads in their 50s a month. And okay, so what if I don't get to presidential for another 2 years, which that's not going to happen because I've got a fire and I'm excited and whatever. But let's just say that was the case. You think I'm going to quit because I'm not presidential in 2 months? Instead, I have to wait 2 years to be making what some people make a month? Like, if I think average presidential is like, 16 or something? I made $14,000 a year at Finish Line as an assistant manager. There was only like 2 steps up from that I could ever get to, but without being like in corporate, which I don't want to do. $14,000 a year. I've made more than that a month with this company. you can do that. You can make more in a month than you would in a year, but not if you quit. And it may take you 10 years. And would that be okay with you? If it took you 10 years to be making $40,000 a month, that would make some of you 29 years old.
I've made more in this business than my mom made last year working 40 hours a week. And I'm 19 years old.
And you're a diamond.
If that doesn't show you the potential of what this business has for you in your life, my mom works every single day, all day long from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I have made more than her. And I've been in this business a year in December.
Isn't that crazy, guys?
It's mind-blowing because I told y'all I had zero expectations. I had zero sales experience. So if you take her mentorship and you learn from your mistakes and you realize that there's going to be crappy parts and there's going to be hard times and you're able to get through that and have the mindset that you need to have, you can do it. Because I did it. And I'm no one special. I'm literally sitting in a dorm room at school,
And if you talk to any top leader long enough, another thing that you'll realize is that they have struggles too. That they have a lot of struggles that they've had to overcome. And I was riding with a girl who's a triple diamond to a boot camp last week, and she has a different ambassador diamond, and we were just talking about some different things, and she was telling me some stuff that had happened in their team, and I was like, I would have never known that. I had no idea. And I mean, obviously I'm not on their team, but I was like, I had no idea that happened. And she was like, yeah. But she doesn't let that show. She doesn't let that stop her. She's still in the Millionaires Club. She's an ambassador diamond, this other girl, her upline. But I was like, that's just so crazy. But that's not what they're broadcasting. That's not what they're saying. Hey, life sucks right now. Probably just going to quit. No, they're out there talking about how amazing this company is, because company hasn't changed. We haven't changed. She hasn't changed, and things happen in your business. And if you go ahead and set yourself up saying, you know what, this is going to happen, but I'm going to push through it. When that thing does happen, your why is going to keep you focused, keep you motivated, keep you inspired. And if you already say, you know what, I'm going to hit obstacles, but this is what I'm going to do when that happens, instead of saying, you know what, everything's going to be perfect. And then an obstacle comes and you're like, what is this? I didn't even know this was ever going to happen. I thought everything was going to be perfect. No. If you know from the start, I'm going to encounter stuff just like I will in my marriage, just like I would in a regular job. I'm going to have obstacles that I have to overcome, just in a sport. It's not just with this business. This business isn't oh, if you join Networks, you're going to have obstacles. No, if you join life, you're going to have obstacles. So welcome to it. So you're going to have obstacles. Whether you're in this business or not, your problems don't go away because you leave this business. So anyways, that was a really big tangent, but Nala, can you get down, please? Get down. Get down. She's still not getting down. You are disobedient. My team is listening to you, not obey. Hang on. Nala.
Okay, if y'all have any more questions, you can comment them and we can answer them.
Thank you so much for getting on here. We can go ahead and stop the recording if you want to, Dakota.